Alright. Got his bicycle given to me. Seems to have some issues. Not least of which the brakes are kind of hooped, and side that's supposed to be for the front brake is pulling for the back brake, and there is no front brake because it's set up for disc and there ain't no brakes on it. But the handle's still there, the other handle. Anyway, I've got some parts so I actually get proper back brakes on it, and I'm gonna have to break those cables loose, and they're all kind of seized up, and soak everything in WD-40, and I figured I'd take you along for the ride. So let's get you where you can see what's going on. I'll say everything else so you can see what's going on and start wrenching. Okay. I'm going to start by trying to get the seat lowered down. At least a few inches. I got that loosened up, but there's the stuff. Everything kind of seized up together, so I'll do that. These brakes are coming off entirely, so I'll start taking those out. They're being replaced. Yep. These will do it. I'm sure these brakes were taken off will have some useful bits that can be used by somebody else. But I don't have no use for them right now. So, oh no, that ain't a bad bike. Nice frame, gearing setup's nice. Everything's just kind of seized from sitting too long, and the brakes are kind of fucked. Okay. Yeah, those couple of bolts out. I'll get the rest of this disconnected and show you when the new ones are going on. Alright, so I pulled off the first piece of this broken brake piece. I'll get this where you can see it. Tell you what, I'll move this up closer so you can see it. How's that sound? Like I gotta get far away from it or anything. Okay, so I got this piece off. Broken one, old one. It's not actually broken, it's just kind of worn out. Old, as it were. So I'll replace it with this one. I got the sit for where the brake pad has to be. I have to do some maneuvering of bits and pieces to make everything work as it's meant to. That has to go there. Now that'll work. Got the spring at its strongest point. It's going to go this way. The bearings are all loose in here, I know. It's all shitty. That's fine. It was a free bike. I'm not complaining about it. Everything's all wobbly. Okay, so let's see what we can do about that. One, I can raise this a little. It seems to be hitting off the mark. I'll slide this thing up and down until it hits where it's supposed to. That's where it's supposed to, so that's where it'll sit. It's just gonna get. Alright, so that's where that's supposed to be. Swap that out, tighten this down. Seems to me that that bolt's a little bit long and it's not letting it sit properly. So we'll see if there's a shorter bolt. It might sit a little better. And if you look at that, the old bolts are just a touch shorter. So it's a good thing we didn't instantly throw away the old parts. It's being a touch shorter, it'll actually close all the way down. And there won't be so much bouncing around. There. That's where that's supposed to be. Let's take this one off on the other side and replace it with the new shiny one. And then I'll show you what I got. Okay, now one of the difficult parts of this is the cables. They're kind of all seized up, they're kind of sticky. So I'm going to have to take them, spray WD-40 all the way through there, see if we can't get them cleaned up a bit. Just so they slide easier. And also, I'm going to take this out. This is a handle for the front brakes, and for some reason it's hooked up to the back brakes. So I'm going to take that out. If we can slide that cable down any looser, and take it all apart. Let's see if we can get this out of here. Now, there we go. Yeah. I'll turn that far enough. Let's get everything lined up together. Oh, fuck. Okay. So, this is going to take a minute. You can't see it really well, but got to undo this thing entirely because it's bent to shit. And I think I got a different one that I can actually use without having to take everything else apart. I'll loosen that off enough to get that cable out of that bolt, because that's fucked. And that'll allow us to get the cable out of here. And that'll allow us to get loose completely. There. Now this we can rescue and put in here. We have to replace this with, use one off of this one. No matter how big the handle is, some of these things don't change. So, sloppy and messy as that whole recording session was, kind of got stuff put together. See what we can do about this. Slide these cables, get some WD-40 down them. Slide back and forth. Move them up a bit, make everything happy. Same with the little one at the bottom. Here's what we do. Oh, for the love of fucking Christ. Tell me they're different fucking size or some bullshit. Yeah, they're different fucking size. Oh well. So here's what we're gonna do. We'll take that fucking handle off. We'll put that fucking handle on. Then we'll hook up this fucking cable. And then we'll hook up those fucking brakes. And I'll show you when it's all put together, more or less. Got that clusterfuck put back together as best we can. All new and shiny and pretty. Looks good. I get rid of that fucking dumb thing. But for right now, I'm not going to be a clumsy fuck today. I will keep all of my fingers, none of them will be bleeding, but I'm going to cut this off. Put that new handle on, which is dangling right there. And then once that's on and everything's set up, running, working, I'm going to tape that grip back on. I'm also going to turn these up physically. Loosen them, turn them upwards so that they're more visible. Because they're kind of fucking hidden really badly right now. Anyway, I'll do that and then I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. A little bit of finagling and wiggling and tightening and loosening and checking. But, works now. They're all hooked up, they're all running. Wheels turn, wheels stop turning. Handle works. It returns back. There's a lot of, I can tighten everything up and I can tape that down or glue it back together, whatever. So I got brakes and I got gears. Well, that's all I basically need, so I guess I got a bicycle now. Oh, and I put the seat down to where I can actually sit on it. Okay, talk to you next time. Final verdict on that bicycle. I got it running. Got the brakes working. Got the gears working. Everything works. Perfectly fine. Ugly as shit. I got on it and rode it. I rode it to the end of the block and back. And as I had suspected after, decades of abuse and neglect, my back and my hip were completely fucking out of joint and killing me by the time I got back from a block away. Okay, so that'll sit there and collect dust forever unless somebody else buys it or needs it for parts. Talk to you next time.